For example, at some point, and these are what I would call policy wonk issues. They are not big, broad, sweeping generalities, but if we address those, they clear out a lot of clutter. They even the playing field. Two that come to mind would be when you're running a family, or you're running a company, or you're running a city, or you're running a state, you need to have a balance of power. All the parties need to be represented. When you go back and look at South Carolina's Constitution, all of the power is centralized in one single area. And as long as that is there, then we're not going to move forward. You need to have power diffused in the legislature, in the House, and in the Senate, in the governor's office, in the judicial branch. And so we need to take a look at our Constitution. Now, for that to happen, it's going to take a very bold move. That means that those who have 100% of the power are going to have to step back and say, I can be comfortable with 80%, I can be comfortable with 70%, I can be comfortable with 60%, not asking for 49%, but if I can step forward and say the state will be better off with a balance of power, we make great progress. So we do need a constitutional conference. We do need a revision in the Constitution. And if there were a way, a magic way, that it could be done non-politically, that it could be done for the benefit of the citizens of South Carolina, could be done so that South Carolina could move forward, could compete against North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, others in the United States, and others around the world, that's what is bold. But it's just a small technical issue. I would say subjectively that South Carolina is at a tipping point. And if we don't address some of the issues, one being the balance of power, two being the tax system, if we don't address those, we run the risk of tipping into what you would call the Mississippi, Alabama. Or we run the risk, or the positive side, of effectively continuing to compete with Charlotte, Raleigh, Atlanta, and the rest of the country. So to me, we're at a crossroads. We've probably been there for 3 or 4 years. I think Boeing maybe gave us a sense of security, could have been a false sense of security. But where we're interviewing here today, we're right in the middle of Greenville Tech, upstate. And when you talk to the professors here and you talk to those that are involved, it's clear that Jason Primo, who runs a small manufacturing company, very, very significant player, he can't get people to work there because they're not trained. When you talk to those who are active here, they're spending something like $22 to $23 million on remedial studies. These are people that come here to learn how to be a machinist, but their mathematical and their communication, their English skills are so weak. So it gets back to, we're going to have to address the relatively weak product that our public education system is turning out. Envision South Carolina, world class, globally connected.